Bringing the taste of South Philly to Forksville since 1999.
It's so big, I don't want to eat it.
Shoe mosquitoes. I'm not giving you a geology lesson.
Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Loyalsock State Forest. This is site 724, the DCNR motorized site. We're up here on High Knob Road. There's a nice overlook out the way. I did manage to go over there for a little while just after the kids went to bed yesterday to see the sunset. We had anticipated it not being able to be seen. We put the kids to bed and I kind of came out here and looked out around, and you could tell it was orange and it was beautiful, so I drove over and looked real quick or whatever. We're going to take you back there tonight, hopefully, but as you know, plans can change. But that's the good thing about being up here on the hill is you're close to that. Like if you want to go see a sunset, it's right there down the road. This morning, we're headed over to World's End State Park. We're gonna go see the rock quarry, and I think there's a vista up near that we want to go check out. So our plan also then is to go check out a couple of covered bridges, Forksville and Hosdale, something like that. One being one of the longest in Pennsylvania. We're gonna do that. And we also have to fill up with water because we've been up here for several days and we need more water. Fresh tank capacity being the limiting factor with the Salem here. So we're going to show you how we do that because that's interesting and it's new. Anything else?
No.
Cool. Let's head down to World's End. Friends, we have made it to the Loyalsock Canyon Vista here at World's End State Park. There was actually a really pretty shortcut we took from our campsite. I forget the name of the road, starts with an S. We ended up on Mineral Springs Road and then over to here. So that was nice, real pretty drive first thing in the morning. This looks to be a short, easy walk, but then the rock garden trail goes up that way someplace. So we're gonna go check that out too. Just doing some short, easy things today. This is a great view of the World's End State Park. It's a great and accessible view of World's End State Park. Some of the other vistas here at the park do require a good bit of hiking, which I think Rachel's done with the hiking for this trip after yesterday.
Yeah. Yes. William insists on doing everything himself right now, and
he can't.
He can't, and it takes forever if he can. So, just took forever.
So now we're heading up towards what they call the rock garden. These trails are almost too short. So like the kids get rambunctious. Like even if you're someplace cool, they don't want to stay there for very long. The rock garden's right up here, just a few short steps away from the Canyon Vista. So this is a pretty neat feature here. Almost reminds me of the big rocks we found up at Minister Creek. But yeah, wow, what a neat place. Up on top of the hill here. So I know certain parts of this can make Rachel a little bit nervous, but I know when we were kids we liked exploring rocks like this. There was a place back home that we always went to, and we always had a lot of fun.
This rock, see like the little pebbles and other rocks in it? It's a sedimentary rock. It's called a conglomerate because it's a conglomerate of different types of materials. That's about all I remember from my geology class in college. Sorry, geology professor.
If they ask me why I climbed it, I'll just tell them because it was there. And pretty much that's why I came up here. If there's rocks, you might as well climb them. You can see a little more from up here, that's for sure. Look at that tree. Not this one here, but the one over there that's like growing out of the rock. It just impresses me that such a big, and that's not a huge tree, but it's pretty substantial, can get enough of nutrients out of a little bit of soil on the face of a rock like that. It's incredible. And even all the ferns and all this other stuff that grows, it's wild how it can do that. Alright, so right here, I think this is Route 154. Whichever way, it's the main road that goes through World's End here. And just over here, you'd probably never notice it if you didn't have a map and you weren't looking for it. Look at this pretty waterfall back here. This is freaking awesome. This is the kind of stuff that we come out here and look for. Alright friends, so we have found the covered bridge here. This has been the most inconvenient covered bridge in the world for us to find because we can't drive across it because we're too heavy, well over 3 tons. But this is the second largest single span covered bridge in the state, or at least one of 2 that are the same. Hillsgrove or Hillsdale, something like that is the name of where we're at. The other thing that's made this incredibly inconvenient is everything around here is posted. So like we came up to the bridge on the other side. It's extremely hard to turn the truck around. It's not going to be easy over here either. I don't know. It's just the way it goes here. But I'm going to put the drone up because that's the only way we're going to get you a good shot of this thing. So we just got to be careful of the power lines and things like that. Pretty cool looking covered bridge. This one is red. Have we found a red one before, or wasn't it a struggle in the past to find a red one?
No, there's red ones all over the place. It's hard to find the white ones.
I thought all we could find was white ones and we couldn't find red ones.
No, there's red ones all over creation.
Burr arch, I believe, is what this is called. So you can see the arch going through the center of the bridge here. There's several different styles of covered bridges for those of you that don't know. I think 3 of them. There's king pins and queen pins, and then there's these arches, which are one of the more common ones. This one has windows too, which is really cool. And I believe, given the 3-ton weight limit, that this is an original structure, so like hasn't been rehabilitated with steel or anything like that to make it more sturdy. This just is the original wooden structure. So that's really cool. I like to see that. We have now made it to the other side. You can see this is a long one, which I don't normally like go out of my way to come to these, but this one's fairly notable, and so is the other one in Forksville that we're about to take you to. Like I said, they don't generally make my list of things that are must-dos. This is where we came in the first place, and there's no place to turn around. That looks like you could, but there's so many posted signs around here everywhere, and very nasty sign over here basically saying they don't want you here. All persons are forbidden to ride, drive, or lead any animal over this bridge faster than a walk, or to drive more than 15 head of cattle, horses, or mules therein at one time, or to carry fire therein except in a safe vessel, under penalty of not less than 30 cents for each offense. So, yeah, you want to be careful about that.
Built by Sadler Rogers of Hills Grove in the 1850s. And in 1890, there were a total of 30 covered bridges in this county alone. And then by 1954, there were only 5. And now today, there's only 3. Forksville, Hillsgrove, and Sonestown. All of them were built by Mr. Sadler Rogers.
Friends, that is it for Hillsgrove. Boy, this thing is so long. I had to fly the drone way back a ways to get the whole thing in one frame. I don't think I've ever seen one quite this long. Certainly not in a single span. And that's the thing, this is all just a burr arch. So we're gonna get the truck turned around in this little precarious situation we got going on here. Rachel's got the kids back in the truck. So yeah, on to Forksville to the general store and the covered bridge there. I've heard good things about both. So yeah, let's go check it out. All right, well, looky here, my friends, the bridge is here. And yeah, this is the Forksville General Store and Restaurant, bringing the taste of South Philly to Forksville since 1999. So I don't know what we're gonna get, but probably something. Alright, so this place is just awesome. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but we got the covered bridge right here, the general store here, nice place to eat by this big shade tree. I'm gonna open up this sandwich. It's supposed to be Philadelphia in the mountains. Really the only thing good about Philly is a cheesesteak.
Mine looks awesome. You're gonna regret not getting mine. There's bacon in here. And french fries.
Mine goes hot.
Yeah?
Mine isn't.
I don't even know how to pick this up.
Yeah, this is a Philly cheesesteak, that's for sure. Alright, well, we're gonna get to eating. We'll catch up with you. We're gonna fly the drone around and do some things after we get done with this, what looks to be an amazing lunch here. If you come to World's End State Park, this place, I give it 2 thumbs up. It has to be on your list.
It's so good. And if the weather's right, like, I would eat outside. There's an inside dining. We haven't seen it. It's probably great, but outside's better.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice out here. What did you get?
This is called the Dirty Philly. It's delicious.
This is a Diablo. It's extremely spicy, more so than I was expecting. It's got like jalapenos and pepper jack cheese. It's awesome. Yeah, this is the place to be. It's made my day, really. So friends, this is the Forksville covered bridge. This is actually a pretty busy street. Lots of people coming and going, so we're gonna be real careful about how we do this. The general store, as you can see, is right over there. This is another burr arch truss. Rachel and the kids are hanging out down below. There's a really nice spot down below the bridge to hang out and see it, and a real good spot for them because, like I said, with the traffic, it's not good for them to be up here, that's for sure. This one appears to be an all-original structure as well, just like the other. Theodore Burr Covered Bridge, Society of Pennsylvania. But yeah, another one where the weight limit just does not allow us to drive across, although I'm seeing big trucks go over all of them. I don't want to be the one to collapse the bridge. That would not be good for me or for anybody else. I think over here probably is a good spot to put the drone up from. Maybe get some cool views of the old churches over here as well. Everything up here is full of history. Friends, another thing you want to be careful of if you're trying to drive across this bridge is it is one lane and you don't have a lot of space between the bridge here and that road over there. So like it becomes kind of a problem when traffic is as busy as it is right now. So just something to be aware of as you're coming through here. So yeah, we're gonna head out of here, go get some water at World's End, show you the process for that, and that'll be it for this trip. Alright, so we'll just disregard that, but it's not my stuff that's leaking, it's Pennsylvania State Park. So we're filtering it and we're putting it in this water bladder that we got off of Amazon. These are pretty pricey. This one's supposed to hold 30 gallons. I'm not sure how you know when it's full. I might get a flow meter so we'll know, but the directions say something about inflating it to like a pillow where it's like 15 inches high, and then when we put it in the camper, which I'll show you in a little bit, I have a pump to hook up to here, which is the outflow. Use this same hose to put it in the fresh tank back at the rig. And this should hopefully solve our water needs that we've struggled with this new camper. We have all the gray tank capacity in the world, but we don't have any more fresh capacity. It's only 40 gallon fresh tank. And yeah, that's just not doing it. I don't know, is that full or not? Alright, onward back we go. Alright, so this is kind of the contraption that we've got rigged up. Drill pump from Harbor Freight, a cordless drill, a swivel fitting I had to buy at Home Depot, or you can get them at Tractor Supply, female to female, because for whatever reason they put 2 male ends on each end of the pump, which is dumb. 0G hose going to the rig, and should hopefully pump water now. It sounds like it is. So I have a twisty tie here that I'm gonna twisty tie the trigger so that it just continuously pumps. Alright, it took a little while to get this figured, but you want your drill on the high speed setting, not the low speed setting. And then just make sure there's no kinks anywhere in your hose. But I think we've got it figured out now. It seems to be coming in pretty fast. You can see the pillow is deflating. I don't know how well of a permanent solution this is, but the other thing, I filled up a gallon jug of water too while we're down there. We're gonna filter it with Rachel's filter here to add to our drinking supply. That way we don't have to get any more water out of the tanks than necessary. So I think for now we're just gonna be hanging out here. In a little bit we're gonna have a fire and probably show you the high knob overlook later in the day. So friends, I believe this drill pump thing was a failed experiment. I think I'm just trying to move too much water. I don't know if I'm gonna try this again in the future. It was a cheap enough thing to try. It was only, I think this was less than $20 at Harbor Freight.
We wanted to get something else for the camper beyond just the filter that goes like outside when you have city water.
The Taste Pure.
Yeah, the Taste Pure water filter. Because we had a situation at Blackman and Shannon where their water, what was it, like E. coli, contaminated with E. coli. And obviously that's not
safe for us to be using for anything, and we were not prepared at all to not be able to use water out of our tanks. So LifeStraw is a brand that makes water purifiers and filters for backpackers that does filter out things like bacteria. Dave has a LifeStraw filter, I think. So I thought, well, just see if they have pitchers. And they do. And this is a little over a gallon. It goes through 2 filter systems. There's a carbon filter here at the bottom, and then a fancier, I have no idea what kind of filter system it is, but it takes out all the nastiness because I drink a lot of water.
I try my best to maintain the tanks, but it's a process to sanitize the tanks, and it's incredibly wasteful of water. So if we have something like this as a backup and I don't have to do the tanks so often or be so worried about everything else, and we just brought water from the bladder and you're supposed to sanitize that all the time, this eliminates any worries that we may have as it relates to water.
Yeah, we can just rest a little easier knowing that whatever we're drinking, me and the kids, LifeStraw filter. And it wasn't that expensive either. It was like $70 for something that's...
could save your trip,
yeah.
You know, because like if you poison yourself with bad water, you're going to have a bad trip.
Yeah. And like you do have to replace the filters, but one of them lasts for up to a year, and one of them lasts like up to 2 months with repeated, like constant usage. The amount that we're going to be using it, it'll last us a whole camping season, so.
Sarah and I are just kind of chilling out here by the fire. We're making some kibasi, just kind of enjoying ourselves despite the clouds. The 200-watt solar panel that we've got on top of the RV has powered us through this whole trip. We have not had to charge the batteries of the RV with the generator at all. The 2 golf cart batteries and 200 watts of solar kept the fridge going, charge all of our stuff, phones, camera, gear, and all that stuff. Ran the water pump. The water heater, I'm sure, uses some electricity. The awning going in and out, LED lights, all that stuff. So really, I feel like at this point we're set up to continue to do some boondocking with this rig. Pretty pleased with it overall. Well, friends, good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning here at Loyalsock State Forest. Yesterday we jumped over to the overlook to see if there was any sort of sunset, and there really wasn't. But we did get a chance to, when we was over there, look at the weather. And the weather looked like it was going to rain all night and rain all morning. Now, as you can see around me, it is not raining yet. But last night we packed everything outside up because we didn't want it getting wet. When things get wet, it's not fun. And we didn't want to pack up in the rain either. So we did all that, and it's not raining now. And so we're going to hitch up the RV real quick here and go show you the overlook. You have to go that way to get out of here anyway. We can't turn this around other than going around the loop up here. So stay tuned, because we're going to put up the drone when we get over there. Should be some good footage up ahead. Yeah, we're pretty well caught up. We're about ready to put the slide in and boogie on out of here. Alright friends, well that's it for this episode here from Loyalsock. Rachel, do you have anything else to add about the experience?
This was a really nice, laid-back kind of camping trip. We weren't rushing around too much. We had decent weather, and when we didn't, we had the space inside to not be miserable. Completely miserable.
I'll call this trip a success, an overwhelming success actually.
We still got to get down around a tricky turn to get to the dump station.
Yeah, we're dumping at the state park. That's normally $10. So no big deal. We just got to figure out how to pay it. Maybe we'll let you know that. Yeah, we'll see you next week from Little Buffalo State Park. That's where we're headed next. So we'll see you then.